Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today we're going to show you how to make a little toy car with a detachable camper and a little driver. Yeah! Let's get into it. I started with a cutoff from a piece of 2x12. This actually came from those shelves you've probably seen many times in our office, which is in the middle of a makeover. Video coming soon. I created a template and attached it with some spray-on adhesive. The template is available on our website and it is free this month for our Grove members. I used the miter saw, table saw, and miter saw again to cut away as much excess as possible. Because of the final curved shapes, I decided it would be easier to pre-drill the holes for the hitches and the driver's seat. Once the holes were drilled, I could cut the shapes out on the scroll saw. I used the bench sander to smooth out the edges and remove the templates, and you might have noticed that somewhere along the line I drilled out the holes for the axles.
What? When did that happen?
I used a small roundover bit in my router to put a roundover on both sides of the car and camper, except for the area around the driver's seat. I cut a couple pieces of 7/16 inch dowel and glued them in as the hitches. You could also use 1/2 inch dowel. 7/16 inch is just what I happen to have on hand. I used the scroll saw to cut the hitches a little shorter and then carefully cut the dowels down the middle, making sure that the flat sides were opposite of each other so they would sit together. Then I drilled out a 1/4 inch hole in each for the pin. The pin I used is a pre-made peg. I bought them in bulk for projects like these. I'll leave a link to what I'm using in the description below. Now, a quick shop tip from today's sponsor. It's just me, I'm the sponsor. Now this is a tip that I've heard many times and I figured that it's about time that I try it out myself, and that is replacing your glue bottle with a mustard bottle. There's a couple things about this that I really like. Number one, the bottle is large enough that it holds a substantial amount of glue. Number two, the cap seals really tight so you don't have any of that glue buildup that you normally get on a glue bottle. Number three, these caps have a really fine tip so you get a really controlled stream of glue, which makes it really nice when you're working on smaller projects. Replacing your glue bottle with a mustard bottle is a really cool tip and something that I kind of wish I had picked up before. Alright, now back to our project. With the car and camper prepped for paint and assembly, I moved on to the driver. I started by cutting a piece of a 1 inch dowel for the body of the driver. Then I drilled a 1/8 inch hole in one end and used the bench sander to round over that same end. After struggling to cut a piece of 1/8 inch dowel, I started assembly using a craft bead and the dowels, just gluing them together. Once this little guy was dry, I sketched on some features and went over them with my wood burner. I think our little driver needs a name. Let me hear some suggestions in the comments. I was thinking Jerry? Then I used some craft paints and started painting all the pieces. Once I had the base coats on, I decided to add some details to the camper, so I masked off places on the camper to paint on a little door and window. I also used a paint pen to add some of the smaller details. After cutting one of the pegs a little shorter, I glued it into place on the camper. I used some pre-made 1.5-inch wheels for this build, along with some 1/4-inch dowel and some flat washers, and assembled everything with CA glue. Last but not least, I gave everything a few coats of spray-on lacquer just to seal it up and give everything a little bit of a sheen. Alright, our little toy car, camper, and driver are finished. What I really like about this project is all the separate pieces, which makes it expandable so you can add to it over time. You can build different things to attach to the car, or different cars, or even more little people to go along with the driver. Like I said before, we have a full set of templates on our website, which is free to our Grove members only this month. So if you're interested in the set of templates, make sure to hit the link below. And if you're interested in getting them for free, just hit the link to become a Grove member. Speaking of which, a big thank you to all our Grove members, and welcome to all our new Grove members this month. You really do make a difference to help support this channel. I hope you all enjoyed today's project. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe and have a great day.